Hey folks, welcome back to Life Walk Wellness. It is Wellness Wednesday once again, and today we're going to talk a little bit about stress management. And I know you're thinking, oh my God, I am so stressed out. I don't even know what to do half the time. I get it. I've been there. But stress doesn't always just come from big events in our life. You know, your car breaks down or you get laid off from work or, big things like that. Stress also comes from just the little busy things that go on throughout the day. And as all those little busy things add up, it does put stress on your body. So we're going to talk a little bit about what causes the stress and how we can relieve that stress today. So what causes stress? Obviously, we know the big things, like I mentioned before. Your car breaks down, you're late for an appointment, you've got a big interview and you're not sure how well you're gonna do. You get laid off from work. I mean, we've got some crazy stuff going on in the world right now, and that's causing a lot of stress for a lot of people, myself included. I get it. I'm actually out of my regular job right now with a shoulder injury. While that's not super painful or super stressful, there still is that little bit of uncertainty. Is it going to heal? Am I going to have surgery? All these things that go through your mind. So those are some of the big things that we think about when we talk about stress. Stress comes from a lot of other little things as well. And like I said, it's just sometimes just the busy little things that are in our lives on a day-to-day basis. I need to go to the grocery store after work, and then I need to stop here and run this errand, and then I need to go do that. And I haven't thought anything for dinner yet today. None of these things is a big, huge stressor, but when you put them all together, it's still a lot of craziness going on in your mind that you're trying to keep juggling and keep everything in balance so that it doesn't become a big thing. So one of the things, as we're talking about, what causes stress and how to relieve your stress, comment below today. What I want to hear about from you are what are the different stressors in your life? And they can be big ones, they can be little ones. There's no judgment. I mean, every little piece of stress affects us, and they all count because, you can have just one little thing go on during the day and that's just a little hiccup. But if you get 5 or 6 of these little things going on, suddenly you're feeling like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it till 5 o'clock? Or how am I going to make it till bedtime? So how do we handle the stress once it starts to come on? So if you're out and about in your busy day, one of my favorite things to do is I tap into essential oils. Now that's not for everybody, I get it, but they really do help. If you can find a couple of oils that really work for you, these are things that you can keep in your pocket and just have with you, at any time that you need just a little bit of mental relief. So some of my favorite essential oils are the Young Living oils. Now I've been using essential oils for years and years and years, and I've only just recently discovered the Young Living brand. And I have to tell you, they're pretty darn phenomenal. If you have any questions about those or you want to ask me about them, leave it in the comments below, or you can message me privately and I'll tell you everything you need to know. But just know that these are just different ways that you can use to help relieve some of the stress as you're going through your day. So for example, this one, it's a special blend. It's already blended up. You don't even have to think about it. It's called Stress Away. Pretty obvious what it's going to do for you. I actually put this one into a little roller top bottle with a carrier oil, and I can just put it on throughout the day, and just the scent of it really helps kind of calm things down a little bit. There are some other ones, Grounding, which is also good, kind of gets your head out of the clouds, clears up your mind, kind of brings you back to earth so you can think straight. And Peace and Calming. Again, just like it says, it's already a blend, so you don't have to figure out which oils do I need to put together so that I can have a peaceful feeling. Peace and Calming right there. A real common one that everybody's heard about over the years is lavender. Lavender is one of those smells that people either love or they hate. I'm kind of on the fence with it. It's not my favorite oil. It reminds me of like an old grandma's closet, and I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but it's true. Think about it. So lavender essential oil, again, it's really super awesome for calming. It's great for helping you go to sleep at night. You know, a couple drops in the bathtub is also really cool. Lavender has a lot of other uses, which we'll get into on another day. But for now, just know this is an option that's out there. As you're already out in your busy day, you can't just stop and draw a nice hot bath, or you can't just stop and, you know, make a cup of tea. So essential oils are great because they're portable. Toss them in your bag, keep them in your pocket, and you can just use them to have kind of that instant little, you know, bring yourself down a little bit from any of the stress that's going on. So maybe your stress isn't just about activities and feeling frantic and frenzied. Maybe it's from, you know, some mental stuff going on. You know, maybe there's some depression or anxiety, or, you know, things that are just kind of bringing your mind out where it doesn't need to be right now. And for things like that, you want, again, we can turn to the essential oils, as well as some herbs, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But things like, you know, any of the citrus scents are going to be uplifting. They're going to help, you know, kind of ease that anxiety, or you know, help lift up that depression. So I've got lemon here, citrus fresh. Again, these are both Young Living brand. Sweet orange. Again, some of these citrus ones are great for so many things, from household cleaning and all of that, but they're also really good scents to help uplift you during the day. Bergamot, that's another one. A lot of people are like, what the heck is that? I've never heard of that. If you are familiar with Earl Grey tea, that very distinct scent that's in that tea, that's bergamot. So there you go. You learn something new every day. So aside from the quick fixes like essential oils, which I mentioned you can carry in your pocket, you can put them in little roller jars so you can just have it with you whenever you need it. Maybe you've got a little bit of time to take a break during the day, and a really awesome way to slow yourself down and to calm down a little bit is with a cup of tea. Now, I've been dealing with herbs for many, many years. I make my own tea blends, but you don't have to do this. You can go to the store and pick up any of those brands of, you know, peace and calming tea or relaxation tea or whatever. There's a ton of them out there. Whatever your local market has, use it. It's going to be fine. But like I said, I've been blending my own teas for many years, and so I buy all the different herbs in bulk and then I just blend together. So like one of my favorites is, not that one, we'll talk about that one in a minute. So bedtime tea, just something to really help calm you down and get you to sleep. This one includes valerian, which if you've ever smelled valerian root, it smells like dirty socks. I kid you not, it's pretty nasty. But when it's brewed in a tea, and especially if it's blended with some other things, it's actually pretty pleasant. And it does a really great job of helping your body relax and get to sleep. One herb that we hear a lot about is chamomile. So chamomile tea, chamomile the herb, doesn't necessarily make you go to sleep. What it does is it helps calm all that mind chatter that's going on, which once you get that calmed down, it's a little bit easier to fall asleep. So it's not the chamomile that's helping you sleep per se, it's helping calm down all that mind chatter. So that's always a good one. You can find chamomile tea anywhere. And so I highly recommend that one as well. And that's one, again, it's not gonna put you to sleep. You can take it in the middle of the day just to kind of have a nice little calming relaxation moment. Another one, adaptogen blends. So we talked a little bit about some of the stressors being mental, like anxiety or depression. And so something like, you know, any of the adaptogen herbs, which I'll go over those in a couple of minutes, those are going to help with that anxiety, that depression, those types of things in your life. Now, nothing that I'm telling you today, I'm not a medical professional, I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I am a certified trained herbalist, and that's the type of advice that I can give you. I can tell you what I use and what works for me. And if you want to try them, awesome. If you are taking any medications, however, I do recommend talking to your medical professional first and make sure that there aren't going to be any interactions. Most of these that I'm talking about today are pretty mild and they're not going to cause any interactions with anything you're taking, but just to be safe, always talk to your medical professional first before you try something new like this. So I talked a little bit about adaptogens, adaptogen type herbs, and there are a ton of them out there. They all have different uses. The safest way to go if you're not a practicing herbalist and it's not something that you really want to delve into is you can find, again, on your grocery store shelf, you can find adaptogen blends. They're going to be things like Stress Less or things, they're going to have names like that. But some of the herbs that you will see if you read the ingredients, you're going to see things like ashwagandha or eleuthero. Schisandra is another real popular one. That's one that I like to use a lot. Like I said, there are whole books written just on adaptogens in herbs. So again, so these are just different ways that you can bring a little bit of peace and calming into your life. And it doesn't really matter what tea you use, just the act of taking a few moments, get yourself a really nice teapot. It's just, they're beautiful to look at. There's so many out there. I used to have a ton of them and I finally had to get rid of a bunch of them because I just didn't have space anymore. But take that time to just treat yourself, to brew a nice hot pot of tea and just sit and enjoy it. Just the act of slowing yourself down and sitting and sipping on a cup of tea is going to kind of lower your stress levels anyways. So, why not, if you have that time? Same thing with drawing a hot bath. If you've got time after work or whenever, draw a nice hot bath, throw some herbs in there, throw some of those, little fizzy bath bombs, whatever you prefer, whatever is going to help you relax. So take that time to really treat yourself and allow yourself to slow down. So slowing down is probably the best way to help keep stress at bay. When you catch yourself rushing around and doing all sorts of crazy things during the day, just stop for a minute and just okay, breathe. Take a big deep breath and just let it go. I'm also going to ask you to do something right now, even while you're sitting here watching this video. While you're standing there, I want you to stop for a moment, close your eyes, and drop your shoulders. Chances are you're going to feel your shoulders kind of go like this. And you probably didn't even realize that you had them up here like this. Your shoulders are probably up to your ears almost. But if you can consciously tell yourself, okay, stop for a minute, drop your shoulders, you might be surprised that you were actually tensing up and you didn't even know it. And you're probably doing it all throughout the day. So again, little ways to just stop and notice. Stop and take a breath. Stop and look at a tree, look at a flower. Just force yourself to slow down a little bit, and that's going to help ease some of that stress. So there are a lot of different ways that I've talked about how you can start to relieve some of the stress in your life. We talked about essential oils, we've talked about teas and, brewing a nice pot of tea or taking a long bath. Get a massage. These are all different ways and different things that you can bring into your life to help keep your stress levels at a minimum and to help combat them if they start to get too high. So that's it for today's Wellness Wednesday topic. A little bit of stress management here. So, take all of these, take some of them, take none of them, whatever works for you. And again, comment below if you have any questions about anything I've talked about or comments about, what's stressing you in your life right now, and maybe we can chat a little bit about how to relieve that in other ways. Sometimes it's not just about using these external things, but maybe it's about working on things that are in your life that might need to be gotten out of your life to help relieve some of the stress. So that said, comment, like, subscribe to this channel. We're going to be doing Wellness Wednesday every week from now till whenever, and invite your friends to join in as well. And until next time, we'll see you next Wednesday.